What is happening? Facebook family, man. I hope everybody's doing fantastic today. As always, I hope that you've had just an inspiring, incredible weekend. I wasn't here all of last week, and it was weird coming back home because it's kind of chilly. The sun's out, it's shining, but it's definitely kind of chilly. And I've been thinking. I got home late last night, like midnight-ish. And I was up just thinking and preparing and getting stuff ready. We're essentially relaunching the Michigan market. We're essentially starting fresh, not because of anything bad or negative, but guys, I've come back from Fort Lauderdale, rather, with just a whole different perspective on things. I mean, I met so many incredible people there in Fort Lauderdale. I talked about this in a previous video and in some other videos that I did with some business partners while we were down there. And one thing that really blew me away while we were in Fort Lauderdale is the fact that, here we are in this beautiful resort. The beach is like 10 feet away. There's a swimming pool like 8 feet away. There's a hot tub. Just everything that you can imagine from a vacation standpoint, right? Everything you could ever want was within arm's reach. Food. We did a leadership cruise that was absolutely incredible. Got to spend time with my beautiful girlfriend and, really enjoyed that as well. And, it just kind of put it all together for me. And I got a chance to speak at the event. And, anytime I get a chance to speak at big events, I like to share what's on my heart and what's on my mind. I usually go off the cuff. But this time, I did a little different. I actually prepared something that I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about why people do what they do. What motivates people? What wakes people up? And a lot of times, if you look at it traditionally, the thing that wakes people up most often is tragedy. It's something bad that's happened in their life, because most people live a life of mediocrity. And I hate to say it this way, but most people do. I shared a story about this little baby bear, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm at the gym right now, so I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet. But man, I feel like somebody out there needs to hear this. Somebody needs to get this, because most people live a life of mediocrity. And here's what I mean by that. I mean, they live a life like this little baby bear that was born in captivity. He was born in a circus, and he was taken away from his mom at a very, very young age. He was taken away from his mom when he was just a little pup, and he was put in a cage of his own. Now, this cage, when this bear was a cub, it was a little bitty bear, was 12 feet by 8 feet. So this bear had some room to roam. It could move around. It could walk 12 feet that way and 12 feet this way. But as the days went on, this bear was thinking and was trying and was hoping that he could break free. And he tried with all his might to break through those bars. And every day he would walk 12 feet that way and 12 feet back. And he would say, I just need to get out of here. Man, if I could just figure out a way. But as this bear got bigger and stronger and people picked on it and they threw things at it, he just kept walking 12 feet back and 12 feet forth. And eventually he got used to it. He got used to things being thrown at him. He got used to people poking him with sticks, trying to get him to break his stride. He got used to it. And he stopped roaring at some point and stopped even thinking that he could break free, because he figured out that he couldn't. Because that cage made him think that he couldn't. And then one day, a philanthropist went to this circus. This philanthropist saw this bear, the way he was being mistreated. People were poking at it, throwing glass at it, throwing cigarette butts at it, just to mess with it. And this philanthropist said, you know what, this bear reminds me of my very own life. And I'm going to buy this bear, and I'm going to take this bear to the best zoo in the world that's closest to its natural habitat. And I'm going to take this bear to this zoo, and I'm going to free it. I'm going to let this bear enjoy the rest of his life. And finally, the day came. The trailers backed up to the zoo. They brought it to the zoo, and they opened up the cage. For the very first time, this bear, you guys, for the very first time, he walked out of that cage in a very long time, and he could stand up on his hind legs. He could stretch. He could smell fresh air. He could look and hear the birds chirping, and he could see and hear the waterfalls in the distance with fresh fish. Everything a bear could ever want. But you know what this bear did? He walked 12 feet to the left and 12 feet back, and he did it, and he sat there for a moment, and he thought, wow, this is what I've been praying for, and this is what I've been hoping for and wishing for. And he walked back another 12 feet, and back another 12 feet. You see, the physical bars were gone, but those mental bars, they were still there. Those mental bars still remained. So this bear lived the rest of his life walking 12 feet that way and 12 feet back, and it never, ever left that 12-foot area because those mental bars, he could not break free of them. And that's how most people live in this country today. The greatest country on the planet. Guys, I grew up in a communist country. For those of you that don't know me, I grew up in a small country called Albania. It was a communist country. There was zero opportunity there for a very long time. And in 1997, my family and I essentially escaped during a war that was happening at that time. And we came to America for a better life. We came here because my parents wanted to give us the opportunity. They struggled and they worked so hard that first few years. And they worked jobs that, trust me, nobody wants. Even I, myself, at 11 years old, got my first job as a dishwasher and as a busboy just to help my family make ends meet. But I had this dream, this crazy dream, that one day I would do bigger things. I would do better things. I would do things differently. I had that dream, and I worked very hard from 11 to 19 years old to where I'd saved up enough money with the help of some friends and family members to actually buy my own business. Because I knew and I understood at a young age that opportunity here is abundant, because I came from a place where there was no opportunity, so I appreciated it more. And I'm not picking on anybody, I'm not calling anybody out, but guys, if you grew up here, you know, Americans tend to not appreciate the opportunity that's available to them because it's around all the time, right? It's around and it's available, so you don't take advantage of it. You don't appreciate it as much as somebody that comes here from another country. That's why so often I live in 25 minutes north of the city of Detroit, one of the most devastated cities in 2008. But if you look around, you go to a gas station or you go to a liquor store or a grocery store or a laundromat or, I mean, just any type of business, a smoke shop, a vape shop, there's so many different places. There's like a 90% chance that it's owned by a foreigner, that it's owned by somebody that did not grow up in America. And you see people that work for those people that did grow up here because they had opportunity abundant to them and they never acted upon that opportunity. So I encourage you, man, go out there and do something today. Don't wait another week. Don't wait another month. Don't wait another year because you don't know how many days you have left. You know, good friends of mine that I met this weekend, some people that I consider close friends now, even though we've only known each other for a short period of time, shared their vision. They shared their stories, and I heard these guys, and man, it just blew me away. I stood in the front of that room, and I did my presentation, and you guys just got a little tidbit of it. There was a little more to it than that, but I looked into the audience, and I got emotional. I'm not usually an emotional guy, but I got emotional, and I looked out there, and I saw so many people tear up. And the reason they teared up isn't because I'm a great speaker or some great presenter. I'm not. I just told you what my background is. I never went to college, barely made it through high school. For those of you that know me, you know that. But, guys, there's something better out there for each and every one of you. And I want to challenge you to go out there and find it, whatever that may be. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you're so so old and stuck in your ways. Don't wait so long, because the longer you wait, the stronger those mental bars become and the harder it is to break free from them. So don't wait to take advantage of an opportunity that's presented to you. Don't just blow it off as just another thing, because you never know what that opportunity could lead you to, what that could do for you and your family. And that's why I do this business, because I want to do better for my family, because my parents made the ultimate sacrifice for us. They left everything and everyone they knew behind to come here. So because of that, I'm willing to be the patriarch of our family and make that decision. I made that decision, years ago, but I've followed through, and consistently through the hard times, the tough times. One of the biggest things that people were saying to me this weekend, because they've seen me in some of the company videos or online doing live streams like this or whatever, is that, man, you're so lucky that you got with this company at the early stages. Our company is only 2.5 years old, and I got here right about that time. But guys, my response to that was, I still have the scars on my back from getting here that early, because guys, when you're one of the first to kind of blaze the trail, you're going to come across some lions and tigers and bears out there, and you got to take care of them for your team. You got to make that sacrifice so your team can have that ultimate success, and you got to blaze that trail. Trailblazers, often get hurt. And that's what this company has been like, because, any new business, any new venture that you launch, it's going to have its ups and downs in the beginning. And that was expected. And I went in with that mindset that we were going to have those challenges. So when those challenges came, I wasn't shocked, surprised, and I didn't take off and go do something else. That's why I stuck it out. But now what we've been able to put together here, and I say we as if, I was a very, very small part of that. I wasn't one of the main people. Our corporate staff has done a fantastic job putting this whole thing together. So what we have now today is a completely different, a much better, more conducive to success program than it was 2.5 years ago when I got here, because we didn't have a culture yet. We didn't have marketing material yet. We didn't have videos and audios and presentations and trainings and conference calls and all of the things, the marketing systems. We didn't have any of that. We had to figure it out. But now that it's been figured out, now is that time. Now is that time to break free and help others break free from that rat race. I see so many of my friends, close friends that I've known since I was a kid, lose a job and they're devastated because they lost that job. Or they, have a financial problem that comes up and they're devastated because they don't know how to handle it, because a job isn't going to pay you enough to have enough put aside to handle those type of issues. But I'll tell you what, this industry, guys, that I'm a part of is absolutely incredible. It's helped more people earn 6- and 7-figure incomes than any other industry in the history of the world. Okay? Let that sink in for a moment. That's how big this thing is. Back in 2008, when the economy went to crap and it tanked, our industry grew tenfold. Because when people are hurting, it takes tragedy to get people hurting. And when it hurts bad enough, that's when they open up to opportunity. I don't want you to make that same mistake. You need to be open to opportunity at all times. Not just when you're hurting, not just when it hurts bad enough. Be open to it at all times. Even if the opportunity that I'm with isn't for you, just be open to it. Keep an eye out for it, because you never know what's going to pop up and when it's going to pop up. Opportunity doesn't knock when it's convenient for you. It knocks when the market calls for it. Okay? So I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to go and get my workout in because I was slacking a little bit last week. I missed a couple of days and did have some fun on the beach. As you can see, I got a little extra color here for a Michigander. So appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see each and every one of you, not from the top, but at the top. Take care and see you soon. Thank you, Jeremy.